I am Dr. Neba EA from Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology. This is the second video of the first module in Knowledge Engineering. The contents of this video is problem characteristics, production system and its characteristics, features of production system, disadvantages of production system, algorithm of problem solving, types of problems and their solutions. Problem characteristics. Now we have 7 problem characteristics under which the solution must take place. So the key problem characteristics are: is the problem decomposable into sub-problems? Can the solution step be ignored or undone? Is the problem universally predictable? Is a good solution to the problem obvious without comparison to all possible solutions? Is a desired solution a state of world or a path of a state? Is a large amount of knowledge absolutely required to solve the problem? Will the solution of the problem require interaction between the computer and the person? These are the 7 problem characteristics required. Now, the production system and its characteristics. This consists of following components. The first one is it has a rule of the form A to B. So it has a left-hand side constituent and which represents the current problem state, and a right-hand side represent an output state. So a rule is applicable if the left-hand side matches with the current problem state. Okay, and second one is a database which contains all appropriate information for a particular task. Some part of the database may be permanent, while some part of this may pertain only to the solutions to the current problem. To explain a set of production rule and database, we can just see this example, the 8-tile puzzle problem. Now in this, what we have to do is, see, this is our first goal, or rather first state in which it starts. So it's a starting state, and from there we have 3 states which is in the next level. Now what is that? If the state, it goes to the next state. And when in this level, if it is this state, it goes to the next 3 states. So there is an if condition and there is another condition. And with a database, which means that it will store all the conditions and all the states from one state to another. So it stores all the values. So that is a database. Third one is the control strategy. So a control strategy specifies the order in which the rules are compared, and it will remove all the conflicts that arise when 2 rules matches simultaneously. And the last one is a rule applier. As we said, there are a lot of rules, and a rule applier which checks the capability of rule by matching the content state with the left hand state of the rule. So that is from the database which has been accessed and it has been applied. So that is called a rule applier. The important roles played by the production system include a powerful knowledge representation scheme. We can represent knowledge in a production system as a set of rules of the form if condition, then condition. Now, along with a control system and a database, the control system serves as a rule interpreter and a sequencer. The database acts as a context buffer which records the conditions evaluated by the rules. For example, if you have an exam tomorrow, then study the whole night. So the production system can be classified as monotonic, non-monotonic, partially commutative and commutative. Some of the main features of the production system are expressiveness and intuitiveness. In real world, many times situations comes like, if this happens, you will do this. If this is so, then this should happen, and many more. The production rules essentially tells us what to do to get a given solution. So the features are, the one is simplicity. What is simplicity? Simplicity is the structure of each sentence. Okay, it has to be in a uniform and unique way. That is, if we are using if-then structure, this structure provides a simplified knowledge representation which helps us understand the conditions. Modularity. This means production rule code, the knowledge available in the discrete pieces. Modifiability. This means the facility of modifying rules. It allows development of production rules in a skeletal form first, and then it is accurate to suit a specific application. The fourth feature is knowledge intensive. The knowledge base of the production system stores pure knowledge. This part does not contain any type of control or programming information. Each production rule is normally written in English, and the problem semantic is solved by the very structure of the representation. Now we'll go to the disadvantages of the production system. Opacity. The problem is generated by the combination of production rule. The opacity is generated because less prioritization of the rules. More priority to a given rule has the less opacity. Inefficiency. During the execution of a program, several rules may be active. A well-devised control strategy reduces this problem, as the rules of the production system are large in number and they are hardly written in hierarchical manner. So what happens is, for a single rule, there are a lot many sub-rules or lot many rules are getting activated at that point of time, and which rule to take first is not considered. So this gives us an inefficiency. The third one is absence of learning. The rule-based production system do not store the results anywhere. So it cannot be used further and it is not learning anything. So each time it is checking for the rules, it goes ahead with that. So there is some new solutions may come each time when you are particularly working on. Then the conflict resolution. This rule is a production system, should not have any type of conflict operations. When a new rule is added to a database, it should ensure that it doesn't have any conflict with any other existing. Now coming to the algorithm of the problem. It has around 8 steps. The first one is, the problem has to be analyzed to get the starting and the goal state. Step 2 is, find out the data about the starting state and the goal state. The third one is, find out the production rules. The production rules has to start again from the initial state to the goal state. Then you have to select some rules from set of rules which can be applied to particular states. That is, from one state where all it goes. So we have to find out the rules which goes from one state to another state. Now apply those rules to the initial state and proceed to get the next state. Determine some new generated states after applying the rules. So you got your new rules. Finally, it goes on, it repeats on, until you reach a goal state. Otherwise, you will repeat it as it starts from the beginning. And once you reach the goal state, you will exit the program. Now, types of problem and their solutions. To explain this, I am taking water jet problem. When you are taking a problem, we have to write it in this way. That is, first we have to define, then we have to write a procedure for this. So when you are defining, that will be a more general problem. So where I am going to write a definition for water jet problem. That is, some jugs are given which is not calibrated. Okay, and at least one jug should be filled with water in the initial state, and then the process which divide the whole water into the jugs according to the question given, and this is called the water jet problem. Now I'll come to the procedure. So in the definition, I have not given any information about how to go about. It is a very general and very vague form of writing the water jet problem. Now in the procedure, I am going to give you all the information. That is, in the procedure, I am saying you have 3 jugs, that is A, B and C, with the capacities 8.5, 8, 5 and 3 liters. And this is not calibrated, that means there is no measuring, it's just been written there or rather marked there. Now jug A is filled with 8 liters of water. Now by series of pouring back and forth, this 8 liters is going to be divided into 2 equal parts, that is 4 liters in jug A and 4 liters in jug B. How? Now when we are going to describe the water jug problem, first we have to say that what are the states which we have. Now the starting state is jug A is containing 8 liters of water, whereas jug B and C is empty. The production rules involve filling a jug with some amount of water, taking the water from jug A. The search will find a sequence of production rule which transforms the initial state to the goal state. The state space for this problem can be described by set of ordered pairs of 3 variables A, B and C, where this is how it looks like, the water jug problem. You have 3 jugs, A, jug B and jug C. With jug A contains 8 liters of water, the capacity of jug B is 5 liters and jug C is 3 liters. Now the production rules are formulated like this. In the step 1, what is the initial state? That is 8, 0, 0. That is jug A is 8 and the other 2 is zeros. So the water of jug A can be poured to the other jugs, that is jug B and jug C, in the following manners, that is 503 or 350 or 053. In step 2, the current state I am going to take it as 503 from the initial state. This can be done by pouring the 3 liters of water in jug C into jug B. So then the state will become 530. Now taking the second current step, that is 350, this state can be implemented by pouring the 5 liters of water of jug B into jug C. So the remaining 2 liters will be in jug B, the states will be 3, 2, 3. Finally come to the third current state of step 1, that is 053. Okay, here what we can do is, there is 3 possibilities, that is we can pour the 5 liters from the jug B to jug A, so that becomes 503, or 3 liters of jug C into jug A, so that becomes 350, or both the 5 and 3 liters from jug C and jug B can be poured into jug A, that becomes 800. So what happens is, here we can see that 800, which are repeated states, okay, or 350 is again repeated state, 503 is again repeated state. Hence we will not consider this towards the goal. If we write it, what we were talking about in the last slide, we can consider as this, that is 503, 350 and 053 are the 3 states from the initial state. So what is there in step 1? So 503 can be written as 530 and 350 can be written as 323 and 053 is not considered. In step 3, the same way if you are taking, we have 2 steps in step 2, that is 530 and 323. Now this can be written as, this 5 from jug A can be poured 3 to the jug C, so it becomes 233. In the same way we can write it as, the 3 in the jug C can be poured into jug A, so it becomes 620. So that is step 3. The other possibilities in the second one as repeated, so we are not considering that. in this step 4, we consider the state as 233, okay, and 233 and 620, two states are there. From 233, if you are taking, pour the 3 from two liters from the 3 liters of jug C to jug B, so that it becomes 251. Other states are repeating, so we ignore it. Now the next state is 620, out of which if I am pouring the 6, this 2 into 1 here and 1 in the jug C, it becomes 701. In step 5, it is the same way. 251 can be moved to another state, that is 701, and 602 has been done into 152. Now seeing all these things, what is it you have understood? If the state 251 comes, it goes to 701 state. If state 602 is coming, it goes to 152. This is how we have to read this. Now in step 6, we have 2 again, that is 701, which we will rewrite, or rather it moves to the next state as 710, 143 as 143 itself. In step 7, 710 moves to 143 and 143 to 440, which is our goal state. So finally the state will be 440. That means jug A and jug B contains 4 liters of water each, which is our goal state. Here the final stage, that is, you got all your states which is written, and we can draw it like a tree, which is shown in the diagram here. We started as an initial state as 800, that is jug A is having 8 and the other 2 is having 0. It has 3 states, and if we are taking 053 state, we know that once that has been converted, or rather if you pour from this state, everything is similar which is in the other states, so that has been ignored. This state is ignored. Now we are trying to expand the other 2. So 503 can be considered as 530. Here 350 can be poured again as 323. Again 530 to 233, 323 to 620. Like that it comes, and in this stream, this part of the tree, you got the answer 440, which is the goal state. So you have to pass through this. Now the problem with this is, this problem takes a lot of time to find out the goal state. So at each state of the problem, it checks for all the production rules. So if you don't know where to go and how to apply the rules, then it will become an infinite loop. We have come to the end of the second video of first module in knowledge engineering. Thank you all for listening to this.